If you're dreaming of designing the perfect baby nursery for your little one, but feel a little lost and overwhelmed with where to start, what's actually needed, and how to pull the idea in your head into a cohesive room, then this is the podcast for you. Welcome to How to Design Your Baby Nursery, a limited series podcast where we walk through the exact step-by-step process you need to move through to transform your Pinterest vision board into the perfect baby nursery reality. The very last thing you want to do is create a nursery space for your newborn that isn't safe for them to be in. And part of the issue here comes in those heavily styled images that you see online. Much of what you see in those rooms is done from an aesthetic standpoint, not a safety standpoint. So first, let's focus on the obvious products at hand. VOCs. VOC are volatile organic compounds, and they exist in high chemical compounds. So ethanols, epoxies, glues, and highly man-made products. It's that chemical smell that you get when you open up a piece of furniture or a can of paint. So when picking paint, you want to opt for low or no VOCs in the paint products. This does mean that you're going to be paying a bit more for the paint, as the process of making this type of paint has a higher cost per gallon, so the cost is going to be higher. We want low or no VOC, mostly for you, mama, to avoid sniffing all those chemicals, but also because paint off-gases for about 30 days or more. So we don't want you nor a baby in a room that still has chemical off-gassing. And when picking furniture and other products, try to stay away from items that are made out of polymers and held together with industrial glue. You'll know when you come across a product like this because it smells heavily of chemicals. Exposed and untacked cords. When baby is new and non-mobile, not such a concern, but they start moving a lot faster than we think, and it's easy to forget electrical cords on items. So if you have a lamp, a humidifier, or anything plugged into an outlet, grab some of those cord tacking clips and nail that cord into the wall so that it's not loosely dangling and tempting to pull. Electrical outlets. Another item that isn't a huge concern until they're mobile, but at some point you're going to want to invest in electrical socket covers so that baby cannot insert anything into the socket. Long and loose drapery or blind cords. Cords and loose drapery pose a choking hazard. It's one of the reasons why new laws in Canada prevent cord lengths above 12 inches, which has changed the window treatment options available in the past few months. But if you have an older home with older window coverings, take a peek at how they operate and how long that cord length gets when the blind is fully closed. And for drapery, most households have drapes installed too low. They should sit about 2 to 4 inches below the ceiling and should just lightly graze the floor, no buckling and large ripples. Anchoring furniture to walls. All large-scale furniture like bookcases, dressers, should be anchored to the wall. Once baby gets his stand-in mojo, he's going to use everything and anything to pull himself up. And the last thing that you want is for him to pull on a piece of furniture in a weird way and have it topple on over. Now, for items that are less obvious and more design features or considerations. My goal in highlighting these issues is not to 100% deter you from having them in your nursery, but to have you consider them in a different light and maybe integrate the desired design intent and outcome in a new and more creative way that still fulfills the design direction of your vision, but keeps baby safe. Crib bumpers. A big craze years ago, but new information and findings report that crib bumpers are dangerous and can lead to suffocation. Nothing aftermarket should be placed in your crib. And anything in the crib, like a sheet, needs to be tight and taut. Throws and pillows in the crib. Items that are commonly seen in staged images you will find online and lead us to think that this is the right direction to move forward with. But again, nothing aftermarket should be placed in the crib. If you want to throw a blanket, pillow, or stuffing in there for photo, knock your socks off. But when it comes to baby occupying that crib or bassinet, it stays bare. No styling, no glam. Canopies or tents over the crib. While I love the look of a canopy and think it looks dreamy, this is another item that can cause suffocation. As they get older, they start to pull on things and get themselves into situations. A loose canopy that drapes over a crib while looking beautiful is a large amount of loose fabric that they can pull on and start to chew on and wrap themselves in. So here, if we start looking at the intent of a canopy, how can we create something similar that maybe isn't around the crib at all, or shorter, or works in a different way? Installing items over baby's head. When placing wall-mounted shelves or mobiles in the room, always pay attention to the height above the baby. As the baby gets more active, they're going to start reaching and grabbing for items. And we don't want anything on the shelves that can easily be grabbed and pulled off onto the baby. So keep these items out of their reach, as well as strategically think about what would be going on these shelves. Shelves are always aesthetically pleasing and are seen throughout every inspo image you will find. but they are not always necessary. So really think about how you would use them and where they would be located so that their location is intentional and has a purpose versus pure aesthetics that could cause potential harm. These design hazards are considerations that are reviewing throughout the entire design direction and process to ensure that we're making the right design selections, not only in the finished selections we are making, but in the materials and products we place inside our baby space. Thanks for listening. Make sure you grab your workbook for additional design prompts, questions, and video trainings. Head on over to gabriellamilgrom.co/nursery to grab your copy. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at gabriellamilgrom.co and tag me as you work through your own nursery design journey. Stay tuned for our next episode.